Hi sisters, James Charles here and welcome back to my channel. Festival season is officially upon us and I'm so freaking excited to spend all this amazing time with my sisters, listen to some great music and take amazing Instagram pictures. Like I said in last week's video, I know tickets to these events are crazy expensive and that's why I wanted to do a drugstore tutorial just for all of you guys out there on a budget. But for this week's video, I wanted to tone back into regular James Charles style, and today I created this rainbow half-cut crease, pink, glowy look using products from all my favorite brands out there. By the way, this look is very, very loosely inspired by one of my all-time favorite artists on Instagram, whose name is Barbara. She's like the queen of festival season. She did something relatively similar last year for festival season, but I just wanted to give her credit anyway because if you guys don't know who she is, you need to check her out. She is literally the queen. I freaking love her. Anyway, this is the look that I came up with today, and if you guys want to see how I created it, make sure you keep on watching. Alright sisters, so I'm starting off with my base already on. This look is obviously going to be super duper concentrated on the eyes and I guess like the highlight and contour area. So I figured we would skip out on the base because you guys have literally seen me do it 54 million times. So let's get right on with the eye look. I'm going to start out my eyes today using this Holy Grail eyeshadow palette, the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. If you don't own this, you are really missing out. 10 out of 10 would definitely recommend. I'm first going to grab the shade Burnt Orange on my M513 brush and I'm going to use this as a transition shade in my crease. I'm just going to do windshield wiper motions, but I'm really going to keep this color concentrated on the inner third of the crease. We are going to be doing a half cut crease today, but the other half of the cut crease is going to be transitioning into pink. I have a very, very complicated plan for this look, and there's a whole lot of colors involved, so I'm just going to kind of be throwing stuff on there, so you guys are just going to have to kind of follow me as I go. I'm not really sure how this is going to work out explaining wise. Next, taking my R39, I'm dipping into the shade Real Gar, and I'm just going to put this right in the crease just to create a little bit more depth and dimension. When I'm blending this, I'm blending very, very lightly as well because there are going to be so many different colors and situations going on the eyelid region, and I really want to make sure each area is very, very defined and also blended out as well to make sure that all the colors don't get like muddied together and really gross looking. Next, I'm going to grab my M507 and mix together the shades Cypress Umber and Red Ochre and just deepen up the very, very inner corner of that eye. Then I'm going to take a little bit more of Real Gar on my R39 again and just blend over that to make sure that it is not too harsh. I'm going to go ahead and leave the crease where it is right now and we're going to come back to it in a few minutes, but for now I'm going to grab the Morphe 35B. You guys can use code JAMES for 10% off your purchase at morphebrushes.com. You should know this by now, this is my favorite Holy Grail palette for all colored shadows. I'm going to grab my M514 and I'm going to dip into this neon pink shade and I'm going to start the other half of the crease. I'm going to start to blend this on the outer corner and I'm obviously going to blend it right into the orange shades as well, being really careful once again to keep them blended together but not getting muddy because we really want to make sure each of the colors shine today. When I get to this outer corner, I'm going to wing the shadow out. I'm actually going to bring it all the way to my hairline because we're going to be putting a whole lot of blush all in this region. It'll all make sense later on, just try to follow along for now. Match 50 seconds up. Move out of the way, bitch. There's a fire. I'm coming. Yeah. Next, dipping back into the Modern Renaissance palette with a clean M433 again. I'm going to grab the shade Love Letter and I'm just going to use this to deepen up the crease on the pink side. I'm going to pat this color on the outer third and I'm also going to bring it onto the eyelid a little bit to start off the blending. And once again, once you get to the outer corner, I'm just going to kind of pull it out and wing it towards the hairline. Next, I'm going to grab yet another M433 brush and I'm going to dip into this purple shade and I'm going to deepen out the outer corner. I'm going to wing the shadow out and then kind of pull it back in right into the crease just to create a little bit of a V effect. Then I'm going to grab my M433 that I use Love Letter at and I'm just going to blend in the crease just to make sure the orange and the purple shades are nicely transitioned together. And I'm also going to go ahead and put this shade all over the lid just to prepare for the cut crease. I'm next going to grab an M562 and the dark indigo shade from the palette. I'm next gonna grab my M562 in a dark indigo shade from the 35B, and I'm just gonna deepen up that outer corner once again. And finally with that M562, I'm gonna grab just the tiniest bit of black, cross your fingers, and then deepen up the outer corner just a little bit more. We're really testing our limits here. Like I said, just the littlest bit goes literally the longest way. The last thing we want is for this to turn into a black smoky eye. That's next week's tutorial. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do the half cut crease. So I'm gonna grab my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and just put the tiniest bit onto the back of my hand. I'm just gonna grab the concealer on a Dose of Colors eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to carve out the crease. Next, I'm gonna grab this palette from Natasha Denona. I honestly have no idea what it is called, but this palette is bomb AF. It is very, very expensive, so there are definitely several alternatives you could use for the shadow, but I'm gonna grab the shade 52M Golden Beige on the same shadow brush. I'm gonna quickly grab my R39 and dip into Real Gar and just, whoa. Okay, apparently I'm really gonna dip into Real Gar. Okay, and I'm going to blend that line out. Then just add a little bit of pop on the half cut crease. I'm gonna grab the Urban Decay glitter liner in the shade Midnight Cowboy and just put a littlest bit on there. Then to start off the lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with this Tarte Clay Pot in the shade Blue Moon. They just sent me a huge PR package of a ton of clay liners, and these are all honestly so freaking pretty. So I needed to get one of these in this tutorial, and I wanted to shove a little bit of a pop of color on the lower lash line just to kind of switch things up, keep you on your toes. Such a fucking loser. So I'm gonna put this in my waterline today. You're kidding me, that's so pretty! Oh my god. To blend out this blue, I'm gonna go into the MAC Single Shadow in the shade Electric Eel and my Morphe M149 brush, and I'm gonna layer this right over top of that Tarte Clay Liner. Sister Cassie recommended this eyeshadow to me. She told me it was one of her faves, so obviously I had to put it into this tutorial. Then I'm gonna go back into my M433 that I used on that purple shade, and I'm just going to blend out this outer corner. Now that the eyeshadow portion is all done, I'm actually gonna skip lashes just right now, and I'm actually gonna go on to the contour and highlight portion of the face, just because it's all gonna kind of connect, so I figured it'd be easier to just blend it all together and then worry about lashes and the other stuff later on. To start off, I'm gonna grab the MAC blush in the shade Dolly Mix and my Morphe R36 brush, and I'm gonna start putting on some blush and connecting it up to the eyeshadow region. You guys know that on this channel, there is barely ever blush used in tutorials. It's honestly probably my least favorite makeup product of all time, but for this look, it is gonna be absolutely necessary to pull everything together. So I'm really gonna pack it on today. This is hurting my soul a little bit, but I promise it'll look good at the end, hopefully. And then once I get up here, I'm gonna pack on that blush a little bit more heavily, and I'm gonna blend it right into the eyeshadow portion. I'm keeping the shadow the most pigmented right in this temple region by the eyeshadow and also right at the edge of the hairline, and then fading it out as we get towards the center of my face. So normally I would do one eye off camera now and then come back for the highlighter and the rest of the face, but this look is going to be exactly symmetrical, and like I said, we're focusing on this area right now. So I'm going to go into the Ofra Cheek Bone Enhancer in the shade Cheeky. I'm pretty sure this is just a highlighter, but it's a fancy name for it. Just a loose pigment, and it's pink. So yeah. I'm also going to spritz it a little bit with Fix Plus before. Whoa. Next, I'm going to grab my very, very cracked and shattered Mary Luminizer from The Balm, and I'm going to highlight my brow bone and inner corner. For lashes today, I'm going to pop on my all-time faves, and that will be House of Lashes Iconics. Shocker. For mascara today, to blend in the falsies and my regular lashes, I'm going to use the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara and just do a light coat. Alright, sisters, and that is one side of the face all completed. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye and this situation off camera, and I'll be right back and we can finish off like the lips, and then I guess that's it. Be right back. Alright, I just went ahead and did the same exact thing on the other side of my face, and now we're gonna go ahead and finish off, I guess, this look with the lips. For lips today, I'm going to use my Morphe liquid lipstick in the shade Vanity. I really wanted to go with like a really, really light pink. I feel like it just suits this look very, very well. Now, lipstick was looking a little bit too purpley on me, and it was not really matching with, obviously, the pinks that were going on in this look. So I just decided to switch it over to a mixture of the Ofra liquid lipsticks in the shade Pasadena and Panama. I like this color a whole lot better, and you can use code JAMES for 30% off all Ofra liquid lipsticks. As I've said a million times, I don't know why I'm having a sword battle with myself over here. As I've said a million times, you can use code, what the fuck? It's my favorite formula. It's way too late at night for this. And as a last and totally optional step, just like my last tutorial, I'm gonna take that Tarte clay liner one last time, the blue, and a liner brush, and I'm just gonna draw a line right down the center of my lip. Yeah. As the last and final step, I'm gonna go ahead and set my face using the Urban Decay Oil Slick Setting Spray. This is gonna be a festival look, as I said before, and this is a whole lot of makeup that we have on our face, so the last thing you want is to melt it off while we are getting crunk in the fields. Alright, sisters, and this is the completed rainbow half-cut crease festival look. I have no idea what I'm gonna call this, to be perfectly honest with you. It is like 3 in the morning, but I freaking love how this look turned out, and this is it on my face. If you guys did enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up down below and subscribe if you have not already. I post videos 2 times a week, every Tuesday and Friday, and I would love to have you join the sisterhood. If you'd like to follow me on my makeup journey, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. They are both just James Charles. And my Snapchat and YouNow for more behind the scenes type stuff is James Charles with an extra S after Charles. Alright, sisters, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!